Hey guys, what's up? It's REZZED311. I'm on the road right now, so if you hear any background noises, it's just the road. But today I got to do a small little phone interview with my cousin Dennis Trujillo. Dennis is currently incarcerated in the California prison. He's been there for about 6-7 years, and he went in a little after he turned 18. He grew up on the res, kind of got mixed in with all the other res kids and made some choices that he shouldn't have done, and now he's currently in prison. And it sucks to say, but honestly, I think in a way, at least from the outside perspective, prison has saved him. I think if he was out, he'd probably be on something or in trouble, maybe 6 baby mamas, you never know. So it's sad that he is away and that he's learning these new life lessons while he's gone, but he's making the best out of it. He's trying to improve. He did the whole school thing, and he's learning, he's not just down in the dumps doing this, doing that. He's actually trying to get it somewhat together while he's in there. A couple things that I thought were important that he talked about is his family support. He had mentioned that if it wasn't for his family, he'd be on a whole different path. And so that's a big shout out to his parents, because although his parents know that he's made mistakes, they love him unconditionally, and that's how it should be. And I'm not saying if someone does bad, you forgive them and you love them still, but I feel like his parents, who are Lisa and Spunky Trujillo, they're a definition of a real parent. Every mistake that Dennis has made, they've been there to either help guide him or they've been there for him while he figures it out. And that's a big thing on their part, because I'm sure it gets tiring, court date after court date, driving hours and hours just to visit. And then once you get there, you have to do the whole visitor routine. You got to take your shoes off. You got to make sure you're wearing the right clothes. You got to bring money for the food. You got to make sure you have money for the food. And, their son is away and they're still doing this all because they love him. So shout out to them, because honestly, I don't think Dennis would be anywhere near as good as he is if he didn't have the type of parents that he had. Another thing I want to speak on is towards the end of the phone call. I know it gets a little difficult to hear sometimes, so you got to kind of listen closely. But towards the end of the call, I asked him, do you have anything you want to say to anyone, to yourself, to your family, to whoever? I wasn't really asking for anyone specific. And he says that he's sorry to the community and that he understands he was a little destructive. And honestly, it takes a big person and a strong person to admit that they fucked up, He knows he's wrong, and he can say, yeah, I messed up. He knows what he did. He's saying he's sorry. How many of you guys have been able to say, I'm sorry? Has anyone you ever know apologized to the whole dang res, to the whole community? I mean, I never had, people act up, they spin around, they do this, they do that. But I thought it was really cool of him to say that he apologizes, because, he is growing up. He is becoming a man. He is a man. And he's learning, just like everyone else. And through the years that he's been away, I would tell his mom and his dad, so they wouldn't feel so bad, that a lot of these boys, they're doing the same exact thing that he did. They're running around, they're doing this, they're doing that. But the only difference between Dennis and a lot of other young men or men on the res is that he kind of got caught up in a way. There really is no difference between some of you guys and Dennis. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but You know, maybe this will make you think about your choices, because you have this young boy who went in when he was 18 and he just turned 24. That's a lot of birthdays to spend away from your loved ones, away from your family, away from your friends. Can you only imagine how that freaking feels? I mean, I was feeling sorry for myself on my birthday. We have the same birthday, and then, you know, someone always kind of has it worse. And I don't want to say he did have it worse or he does have it worse, because I know he tries to be positive, but, you know, he celebrated his birthday from inside a cell with people he barely knows, and he's still smiling. So if he can smile about something, and if he can hold his head up high, then you guys better too. And remember, if you're stuck in this cycle of being naughty and going to jail, you don't have to keep doing it. You're able to stop. You know, sometimes people worry, like, oh, what if I get out and I don't have the same friends because I choose to do good? You know what? You can love him from a distance. And even Little Man said, sorry, his nickname's Little Man, but even Dennis says it's all love, you know? He understands what he was doing. He understands he was young. And he understands that if certain circumstances didn't happen, he wouldn't be the man he is today. So I want to go ahead and get into the video. The prison tablets are a little funky. We worked with what we had, so you might have to listen a little closely. I'm going to try to fix the audio, but I'm not too sure how much luck I'll have with that. So let's go ahead and get into it.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Okay, so I need your name, please.
Full name, Dennis Trujillo,
And what is your age?
24.
And how long have you been incarcerated?
Going on my sixth year.
What jails or prisons have you been to, and how long were you there?
I've been to every county jail in San Diego County. Prisons, I've been to Chino, Ironwood, and now Lancaster.
Okay, was jail or prison like anything you first expected?
No, hell no.
Okay. Do you think jail or prison is idolized by the youth?
Yeah, I believe it because I used to think like that when I was younger.
What did you used to think?
I used to think going to prison was the shit. I used to think that once you went to prison, you had the utmost respect. It's false image.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Since being incarcerated, has your mindset changed?
Oh, most definitely. Yep.
Do you think being away has helped you grow and mature?
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
What do you miss the most about either the res or the outside world?
I'm gonna have to say a choice. Just being able to be on my own time and not the next person's expression.
Jeez, you have been growing. I don't even think you knew that word when you were out.
You need to stop talking shit, cuz.
Okay, I'm being for real, but next one, number 7. What are some things you're looking forward to when you get out?
To be honest, just to live life simply. Get a job. Be able to do what I want.
Makes sense. And then number 8. Do you think you will have a hard time adjusting when you get out?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more like just the environment and the settings and the type of people I'm around.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like be used to being on edge. Like, what are you gonna do if you go to the store and someone bumps into you? You know, like, can't fucking check them.
Fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Might start barking. Sorry.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, number 9. What is a piece of advice you would give to someone?
that depends what age they are. But if I'm talking to someone younger, I'm gonna say, man, just do you. Be yourself. Live your own life. Don't worry about living up to the next man's expectations. Just do what makes you happy.
Okay, and then next question. I think everyone who has Lisa Trujillo on Facebook knows that no matter what her sons do, she's down for them. You know, I don't think she thinks like that they do no wrong, but I know she loves you guys no matter what you do, you know? So,
Yeah.
did you think they were going to be like that, or was that kind of just all news to you when you got locked up? Because some parents, they don't really give a shit about you when you go, you know? They kind of just see you when you get out. But I feel like your parents, they've been there every step of the way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not surprising that they're like that. No, they've always been like that, even out there. Even though 9 to 10, we were in the wrong and we started this shit, they were still rocking with us. Like, now we still got you. Like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't that surprising.
Okay, do you still have the same friends that you had before?
Female or male?
Males. We're not worried about no bitches right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a few of the same friends, but that's only because they want the best for me.
Yeah, I meant like, was there people who you were kind of rocking with while you were being naughty and then you got locked up and now they're nowhere to be found?
Oh, no, hell no. Those type of people, no. They folded as soon as I got sentenced.
Have you learned who was really there for you or not?
Yeah, every day. I still learn that.
Okay, do you think that having such a supportive family has helped you get through your prison sentence?
See, 100%.
How do you think you would be if you didn't have any family support?
Strung out, maxed out my sentence, just not cut another case. I'll just crash out.
Yeah, I feel like the people who don't really have support, that's the ones who kind of think they have nothing else to lose, so it's kind of a free-for-all when they're locked up.
That's why they never go home.
Yeah. If you could change what happened, would you go about it differently or would you still stick to the same thing?
Truthfully, no, because without that happening, I wouldn't be where I am and who I am today.
There you go. See, that's one thing I was always telling your mom when it first happened, because like with my dad being locked up, I would tell her like, you know, I don't want to like burst your bubble, but if little man was out, he'd probably be on something or be dead, or, you know, like you never know. So I honestly always felt that you getting locked up is kind of what helped you or what saved you in a way.
I should save my life for sure.
I mean, anyone who fucking knows you knows sort of what happened or a version of what happened. And I think if something like that were to happen again, you'd probably handle it in a different way just because you kind of know what's at stake now.
For sure, I would just stay my ass home.
Yeah, just stay home, huh? Okay, so the last thing, I kind of already asked you about like what advice would you have, but do you have anything left to say to anyone else? Could be your mom, could be your grandma, could be to yourself. Like, what do you...
Despite the last image of who I was and how people usually see me, man, there's no love lost. I still love you. I mean, I apologize to the community for sure because, you know, I contributed a lot of ways to disrupting that shit, so
Yeah.
I apologize, really.
I think too, like, not that it's an excuse, but you were young and dumb, you know? Like, when you're young and dumb and thinking you're roaming the streets, it's all about respect. So when someone disrespects you, it's kind of like, oh, I'm going to show you, motherfucker, and then look what happens, you know?
I mean, yes, I was still a teenager.
Yeah.
I was on, like, what, 4 months to being 18? Like, yeah, I was still a kid.
Yeah, you're a little guy. I think, honestly, fucking, it trips me out a little bit, because when I look at your pictures, I'm like, oh my god, he's a freaking man now. Like, you went in, your voice was all cracky, now I'm like, oh my god, who is this? Because your voice is all deep.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that?
What?
Every single person I talk to, I ain't talked to them in years, they say the same shit. But if they never said that shit, I wouldn't have even thought that happened, but I know.
Well, yeah, because you fucking, like, you practically did your growing up in prison, you know, like your little manhood part. Did my voice get deeper? Just kidding. Okay, so those are the end of my questions for my lovely podcast. Thank you for being on. I know you probably weren't that interested at first, but honestly, I think that you had a chance to teach the younger boys something, you know? It's not all fun and games being locked up like how people think it is. So hopefully this can reach one of the young boys, or as long as it reaches someone, I'm good with that. So I'm going to end my end of the voice memos. You don't get off yet, though.